What is going on, guys? It is Weisy Wednesday. You are watching the Habs Tonight channel, and of course, I am Dale Weise. I have two shotgun hosts tonight, which is awesome. Shane and Nick, how we doing, guys?
Doing good.
Yeah, beautiful.
Good. Exciting day.
Crazy day. We were just talking about it a little bit in the back for all the fans, and kind of a letdown. I know, in my opinion, of just like the excitement of the day was kind of gone. The Carey Price thing didn't get to linger on till tonight, and it was kind of out of the way. What'd you guys think about it?
I mean, it was a sigh of relief. I'll be honest, it was a big sigh of relief. I was at work all day today, and my buddy's like, "Yo, Carey Price's thing." I'm like, "Oh, thank the Lord, thank you. I get to be in peace now." But no, to get the entire roster leaked right away, and is a bit of overkill. But hey, we'll see if it's actually correct. Maybe Frank Saravelli's doing cocaine or something. I don't know. He's off his wagon.
He is off his, like, I can't stand that guy. So yeah, I would love it if everything came back and it turned out that he was wrong on everything. I would be so happy. I would be so pumped. Yeah. Oh, I'd be shredding him on Twitter. I'd say I would say so many things I've wanted to say to that guy. But hey, let's jump into the Carey Price thing before we get into the actual selections. Probably the biggest guy that didn't get picked. It was just crazy. Like, everything on social media, you have every different rumor going every different way. Everybody's saying there's no possible way this can happen. And then, you have Montreal, which we're going to find out in the next couple of days if they're just playing dirty pool or if he actually has a long-term injury, which I don't know. I'd love to get your guys' opinion, because I the way he played, it just doesn't look like a guy that's that injured to me. What do you guys think?
I agree, but on some of the replays that I saw, obviously you get some obsessed Twitter fans who are going to go around and dissect every single play from the playoffs. And on a few saves from the first 2 to 3 games in the Tampa series, you kind of saw some of his movements where it wasn't as lateral as usual, and he kind of like itched at some of them. So I don't know if it was just like a small lingering injury from a few games. It didn't seem like anything that would be a few months or even surgically needed in my book. But yet again, what do I know? I'm just an armchair fan sitting here and looking at him. I don't know what he's feeling. But like you said, from looking at the plays that he made throughout the playoffs, does not look that injured to me. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's a well-timed injury. Let's just put it that way, right? The timing was perfect. The timing was perfect. But, Price, like, he's such a warrior. I've never seen him, even in bad injuries, just roll around like a soccer player. He's always focused, right? Even when he got hit by Kreider, he didn't roll around and cry. No. He was there and just doing his thing. So it's the Stanley Cup playoffs. I mean, I don't know him, but knowing him, I wouldn't be surprised if he just toughed it out, and maybe it is serious.
Well, wouldn't be the first time, right? Wouldn't be the first time you power through an injury throughout a game. So
yeah, it'll be interesting. The one thing that I found interesting, and everybody was talking about, the knee injury. Okay, he's had a knee injury before. But then you hear the comments about, well, he might need hip surgery. For anybody that doesn't understand the mechanics of skating, every single hockey player probably needs hip surgery. So that's not a serious thing. Like, if every single hockey player went and got an MRI and you went and looked at everyone's hips, a doctor would tell you they need surgery. Like, that's standard for every hockey player. So that one doesn't really like, you can have a really serious labrum tear and then it's like, okay, he's out for a long time. But it's just not a natural motion for somebody to continue to go like this with your legs for 20 years.
Of course.
This is not good for your body. So that one was kind of comical, because so many guys when they're done their careers would need the hip surgery anyways. But let's jump past that one, because that one took up a lot of my time. I know it was interesting, because there was always that possibility, and I think that's what made it interesting, because obviously he's got the big contract, but he is Carey Price, and I think that's what made it interesting and so intriguing, don't you think?
That was the scary part. I found, like, I think deep down, as logical Habs fan, you could turn around and say there's no way they're going to pick him up with not only the 10.5 a year, his But if you turn around and think, like you said, it's Carey Price, do you take the chance and just go for it? That was the scary part of there's like a 50% chance they might just turn around and say, fuck it, and take him, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the kind of guy you can build a franchise around. And that's literally what they're doing tonight. They're building a franchise. So there's always that possibility. I mean, not anymore apparently, but even at that price, oh, that was a wordplay there. But even at that price,
that was nice. That was really nice. That was so nice.
Completely unintentional. But even at that price, that's a guy that you can build a team around. That's a guy that has proven can bring it to the Stanley Cup Finals. So I was genuinely scared, and that's why I was so relieved when someone told me there. But hey, maybe Frank Saravelli's off it, and he's completely wrong. We'll find out pretty soon here.
Absolutely. Let's get in who they did take from Montreal. Cale Fleury wasn't a name that a lot of people were throwing out as a guy that could get picked. And it kind of slipped my mind too. His brother, and I'm sure Ron Francis had, he knew the family obviously when he drafted him in Carolina. What's his brother? Hayden, sorry. To have two brothers, what a cool pick. But I think this is a big loss for Montreal. I always really liked him. I missed him. He was in Montreal, and then I missed him. But obviously, in the bubble, I seen him, and I seen him enough times that I think he's going to be a really good player. He's physical. He likes that part of the game. He can skate. He's so young. I think it's a really good pick for them. Obviously, as a Montreal fan, I'm not really happy about it. But you don't really lose a guy that was on your roster on a Stanley Cup Finals team. So you can't be too upset, but obviously you lose a really good player that's going to be a really good NHLer for a long time.
No, that's what I was going to say. You're not losing anybody who's currently on the roster. It's not a position you need to fill right away. But in the long run, I saw Cale Fleury as a potential defenseman that could come up next season easily. He's been playing with us for a while now, and I love his type of play. He's always been a physical type of player. So it stings in the long run, definitely.
Dale, you'll probably remember every year at the beginning of the year, there's always that inter team scrimmage, like the red versus white, and everyone's like, it's a $5 ticket, right? The first year Cale Fleury came up, I went to that game. I was sitting front row, and it was awesome. But like, I didn't know Cale Fleury at that time, and I just see this big ass kid skating around the net. I'm like, who is that? I look around like, Fleury, that's interesting. And during the game, he was smashing everybody, even though it's an inter team scrimmage. No. He was just smashing everybody. So I was like, okay, got to keep an eye on you. And sure enough, he cracked the team first year. He did great, and then got injured this year on and off in Laval. But that is a big loss and a big gain for Seattle. You got the two brothers, right? So imagine Fleury to Fleury on the point. That's pretty cool to hear.
That is pretty sick. They must be pretty pumped about that, to play with your brother. That's got to be so cool. My memory of him, we were playing Calgary, and he absolutely lit up Lucic, and the Bell Center went nuts. It was unreal. Like, such a good hit. And then he lit up
anybody who touches Lucic is just like automatically accepted into the Montreal fan base. You are part of the family if you touch him, and just knock him on his ass a little.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved it. What for you guys, what was outside of obviously Carey, which guy were you guys surprised that reportedly wasn't taken?
For me, it's Kulak. I was expecting Kulak to get picked.
Yeah, I gotta go with Tarasenko. I mean, if we're not talking,
I thought you were talking Montreal. Sorry.
Oh, we can go whatever. Let's go Montreal, and then.
Sorry, if it was Montreal, I'd say Kulak.
Yep.
Yeah, I originally picked Kulak in my mock draft, but Drouin was also a pretty good option. Like that's a top 6 forward right there. But overall, I was really surprised they didn't take Tarasenko. In my mock draft, I had Vince Dunn, but I went off the board with that one. I was like, you know what? They might just go Vince Dunn, lock up on defense there. But I really thought they were going to take Tarasenko. That surprised me.
I like, at least take him and keep him and flip him. If you were going with the team that you have on paper, and no disrespect to the guys that are on this team, but it doesn't look like a playoff team in my eyes. He'd be a pretty nice pickup at the deadline for somebody. You could retain some pretty good players and some draft picks for that. So to me, that would have been an easy flip. He was the guy that I thought, Shane, out of everyone, that I was really surprised that he wasn't the guy they took. Obviously, Vince Dunn is an unbelievable defenseman. He slots right in your top four and will play for a long time for you, hopefully. So it's not a bad pick, but to pass on a guy that can still score and still play at that level really, really surprised me. And Nick, who did you have?
Overall? For me, it was Tarasenko too. It was also rumored that he would be flipped by many teams. Like, so many teams were interested in it, and you'd be nuts if you weren't interested in a guy like Tarasenko too. So, big surprise. And I mean, like you said, going towards Vince Dunn, extremely talented 25-year-old top 4 D, but also an RFA this year. So he's a signing that they need to get on right away. So, I mean, not a bad pick. Definitely not a bad pick.
Just to cut in here. I got the stream going to my right, and they started the picks here. Jeremy Lauzon from Boston was officially the first pick.
Perfect.
I don't really know what to think about that. I mean, he's a big kid, but he made some costly mistakes in the playoffs recently. So
absolutely, that one.
I don't know.
Yeah, he again, he's a big kid. Hard to play against. I played against him in Province quite a bit. I didn't play against him when he was in Boston, but watching him a lot last year. Going by some of the other defensemen that they have, I don't see him in their top 6. Maybe he's just a kind of a depth guy. Interesting pick. He was averaging like 19 minutes a game too in Boston. Like, he was still pretty steady. This season it was 9 points in 41 games. So, I don't know how he's going to fit in. Just when you look at some of the other defense that they have, but you gotta have some bodies, right?
On defense. Holy shit! That's what Shane and I were talking right before we logged on. Is holy crap! I was not expecting.
They just picked another one from Buffalo there, William Borgren. Again, don't know much about him. 24 years old, RFA. That's another weird one.
Good young guy. Good young guy. We'll give him that one. They must know more about him than we do.
As much as we can say, but shit.
I was looking at actually the Hockey News when they reported on him. They said, well, obviously a 24-year-old only has 14 games under his belt, but RFA 2. But he's a sneaky pick. Like, he was not talked about enough. Going to be a sneaky pick for them. So is it going to be some guy that they put into the AHL for now, or do they take a chance and put him in right away and give him a shot, right?
Yeah, some other younger guys that they pick, I got to figure they're going to let them play right away. Like with the way their team's looking, like they're Nick, you said it, they're trying to develop to be strong in 3, 4, 5 years and be a really, really good team instead of just trying to hit it out of the park in year one. And it looks that way by their reported lineup, because I said it off air. I would say it again. I don't think that's a playoff team in my eyes.
No.
By who they have. But I mean, I think everyone's looking at their roster and saying, okay, well, they could have took this guy, could have did whatever. They still have money to spend. You can still sign some free agents. You can still make some deals to help their team. But I think they got to do a lot more than that.
A lot more. I mean, yeah.
I think the bar was set so high with Vegas, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think everybody expects them to be like Vegas. And, historically, if you look at some of the expansion teams that came in, they were horrible. They're horrible for years. It took them a really, really long time to be relevant. And some of them, haven't been good at all.
No, exactly.
So, I don't want to say Columbus, but it took Columbus a long time to be relevant. And
now it feels like it's just back to shit.
It's kind of going back there where they. Oh,
no, we lost Shano.
Oh, we lost. Shano's had enough. He's a Columbus Blue Jackets fan, so he's not happy with what I said.
No, like Columbus is. I don't know. I don't want to say like it's shit, because they do have some very talented players, but it just feels like it's going like in a downward spiral, because they traded a lot of key players this year.
Right.
And they need a new coach. Like,
well,
I don't know.
The coaching thing, and we, I've talked a lot about culture. And I've had a lot of buddies that played there and said it was different and he's not like he was before. But, I think it's probably a lot more to do with the city than it is, with the coach. Obviously, they got no more excuses now since he's gone. No. But you see like Panarin and these guys, they didn't want to play there. So I think it was the city, kind of, like Canadian teams in Montreal, Winnipeg. Like, if people don't want to play there, there's not much you can do. So interesting. There we go, Shano. There he is.
We're back. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, this should work.
Did you get dialed in on the stream there? What were you doing?
I have no idea. My computer just...
We were talking about shit, and then the computer went to shit.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Good omen. What team do we got next?
Yes. I had to turn my stream off. It was lagging with everything, so...
Yeah, I shut everything down. I'm going to reopen that stream. Just a second. Okay.
I'm just talking in the chat, guys, for everybody that's in here right now. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We have tons of content coming up. Follow us on all social media. We interact a ton with the fans. We love it. Be sure to like and comment on these videos. We love the feedback, and I'm seeing all the comments in here right now, guys. So we appreciate you guys.
Big shout
Derek,
to,
what's up, buddy? Producer James, good man.
Yes, thank you for the donation, Producer James.
Appreciate that.
No, we were just to touch on it quickly before we get another a pick here. Shane was actually saying before we started the stream that this team now has 12 players to sign this offseason. Isn't that excessive?
That's very excessive. Completely different mindset as opposed to, like, in my opinion, you'd want to have guys that, okay, I'm taking this guy and I know what I have to pay him over the next little bit. Obviously, they've had preliminary discussions with guys, I'm sure. Like, there's tons of colluding that goes on in the NHL. So they've talked to these players' agents that kind of have an idea of what they think they want, I'm assuming. But still a dangerous play. Like, some guys got arb rights. That could really backfire on you. And
yeah,
just really interesting. That's a lot of guys to sign. But I'm assuming they've had a lot of conversations and they're comfortable. That to me would make the most sense, right?
Agreed. I think we have Chris Drager to Florida too confirmed.
Yeah. I mean, that was expected. Everyone knew that one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they had the deal released, right? 3 years, 10 million or something?
Yeah, 3.3 million in a year for, yeah. But, I mean, decent signing. You've got a save average of like 927 for 23 games. He was decent.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting? You're picking a guy that's a UFA. Like, could you not have got him in a couple days and then picked another player?
That's why I had originally Nolan Patrick in my mock draft. That's before they announced they had a contract done with him. But it is an interesting one, and there's a few other UFAs there. John Quenneville, if he is taken by the Blackhawks, is also a UFA. Jamie Alexiak, the guy from Columbus, I can't pronounce his name, sorry, and Adam Larson, who they just signed today. Yeah, that's a lot of UFAs to take. I don't know.
Yeah, when you could have had, I would assume, like, I don't know. I understand you're talking to them before they can talk to other teams, but I just don't get it. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. You could have had like 4 more players and traded those and just got more assets. It's weird. Maybe the teams this go around learn their lesson from Vegas and they're like, we're not doing you any favors. Like, do the best I can to shelter my team, and you can take one of our good players, but I'm not making you deals and giving you players. Or at least it seems that way.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. See, and Derek, I know we commented. We commented on Alexiak being a UFA, but Elliot Freeman actually reported that he might be closing in on a 5-year, $4.6 million.
That's a lot.
5 years, 4 point what?
4.6.
Wow,
that's a lot.
That's a little. That's good for him. Wow.
Yeah. So Cale Fleury officially going to Seattle. No more debate about it. Price is a Hab. It's official.
People can breathe easy.
Okay.
I seen Danny Boy's
not worried.
Up, what did Danny? We missed one, the Detroit one.
Chalowski, I think.
Dennis Chalowski. That's a good pick there. He's a good D-man. I really liked him as a young guy.
It's really funny. I'm on Cap Friendly right now, and as the picks are coming in, the little logos next to the names are changing to the Seattle logo. It's hilarious.
No way.
It's really funny. Point. Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez.
So as the picks are coming in, it's just changing. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Chalowski, I guess not much experience either. 104 games, 27 points. RFA. So I guess they're going to want to jump on that pretty soon too.
What is he? 23, 24? He's a former first-round pick, I believe.
23,
yeah. 23, left-handed defenseman, RFA.
Yeah, he's a good player. I like him. I think he's going to be really good. That's a good pick for them. Him and the Fleury brothers could be deadly down the road here for them. And Alexiak, obviously, is a 5-year deal. I like what he brings. Like he's a big defenseman. He's hard to play against. He's tough. But I don't know. 5 years is a lot for.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would you slot him in your second pairing. I think he's on that team. He's the second pairing. I don't know.
Yeah, he's on the top 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Good on you, Ron France as well.
We have Joey Decord that has officially left Ottawa. Quiet guy, only 9 games this year.
Yeah, that's the third. It's going to be the third goalie, right? It's going to be Drieger, Vanacek, and then Decord. But
he'll be in Palm Springs, is it? Is there affiliate?
I think so.
Call me crazy. I think it's Palm Springs.
Let's double check that.
Joey's getting excited. He's getting excited.
He's going to be an RFA in 23-24, so only $750K. Yeah.
Good depth.
It's good depth for the AHL.
When you looked at some of the other goalies that were available, like Quick and Bishop, it was just too much money for the risk that those guys, it wasn't worth it for me. Holtby was available, making a lot of money. There was just no. I think they went pretty smart with their goaltending selections.
For sure. I don't a few years ago, obviously you would have jumped on guys like Bishop and Quick and all that, but I mean, is it worth it now? To me, no. If you take a look at how Holtby played this year, completely different guy from 2 years ago in Washington, right? So that's not somebody I would have jumped on personally. We have Yanni Gould.
Yanni
gone. That's good. That's a good pick.
Yeah, I think everybody, regardless of what you're a fan of, can appreciate Yanni Gourde by the way he played in the playoffs.
Oh, for sure.
Just
he's the type of guy you want on your team, but you hate to play against them, obviously.
Yeah. The guys on Cans yesterday talked about it a lot, but Tampa you couldn't go wrong with one of those selections they had.
It was three top line wingers, or even in Yanni's Gourde, he can play center, left wing, right wing. He can do everything. So that's a great pick.
Yeah. Tampa's going to miss that guy. And then that was I understand they have a lot of top end talent, but you lose him, you lose Goudreau now. That line was huge for them. That was their best line, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Those guys were deadly. They scored some clutch goals. That's a big loss for them.
And Yanni Gould's 5.16 until 24-25. He's a UFA in 25-26. So
Yanni got paid.
Still a big chunk.
Yeah,
he's signed for a long time.
Yeah, but
you got Tampa that's clearing a huge chunk too. They're gonna have cap issues this year, so I guess that helps them out.
Yeah, I think Yanni's your look at the reported lineup. He's your number one center there.
Basically,
I don't know who else, who's going to be your number one.
The second best center I can see would be Jared McCann or Kalle Järnkrok, but that's not first line material. No. So Yanni would definitely be number one.
Yeah. And McCann, I think he's a good center. I honestly think he's more effective on the wing too.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you feel about that flip? Did you think they picked Kerfoot?
Yeah, I kind of thought they'd pick Kerfoot, but if it was up to me, I think McCann's a better player. I would have took McCann over him. And interesting move by them. Obviously, they valued Kerfoot over McCann, otherwise they wouldn't make the deal. But I think he's a really good player. He had a great year. I think that's a good pick.
Yeah. He's also, I have his stats here.
How about the was it, I don't know, was a bar down with Kevin Weeks or whatever it was, like releasing the Alex Kerfoot thing? What was that about?
They filmed multiple takes of that. I saw actually like the other version where they filmed the McCann one. So they did it multiple times with different names for some reason.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a little more sense now.
He's 2.94 in next year, and he's an RFA in 22-23. So
RFA. That's a good pick. That's pretty good price at him if he can come in and
play center and wing too. So I mean, is he moving around?
They're going to need it by the looks of it.
He's an effective middle six forward, so it's a decent pick.
Absolutely. If he plays more minutes, he can put some points up for you.
Oh, for sure. I see a lot of Leafs fans that were just upset about the whole thing. I guess half wanted Kerfoot gone, the other half wanted to keep McCann. Like it was just like a shit show in Leafs Nation today.
There was a lot of hatred on Kerfoot too. I saw a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, good, he's gone." Like he was a really good player in Colorado. I don't think he's played as well in Toronto, but I don't know. You're overshadowed by a lot of guys in Toronto. He wasn't playing the same kind of minutes. Those top guys in Toronto, they just play so much. I think I'm taking McCann every day of the week over Kerfoot.
Over Kerfoot, yeah.
Agreed.
Poor Toronto fans.
Dan the man. Leafs Nation wanted Carey in a swap deal.
I'm curious what they're gonna, just to switch the subject here a little bit, of the goalie situation in Toronto. Are they sticking with Anderson as their starter? Are you going Campbell as their starter? Like, what are you doing if you're Toronto right now?
I think you got to let Campbell roll with it. I think Anderson's kind of wore out his welcome there. He's had enough chances. Struggled to stay healthy. He's a UFA, no?
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. He's signed with another team for sure.
Yeah,
Who else do they have apart from Campbell coming up then? Are they signing a backup, or are they trying to get a starter and keeping Campbell as a backup?
Oh, I think they like Campbell as a starter. He's not going to cost as much, which is effective for them. Interesting though. Maybe they sign like a guy like a Peter Mrazek who's like a 1A, and he's not going to cost you a lot, but pay him $3 million and you kind of got 1 and 1A. I don't know if they can sign a star. I don't even know who would be out there as available. And I don't see him making any deals for one,
That's it.
No, we got Hutchinson too, yeah.
The market for goalies this summer is just massive. There's so many teams looking for first and second goalies there. So they're going to have to come up with pretty hefty salary there if they want to get some. Oh, my God.
Derek's been on the Martin Jones train since last night.
Nobody wants him.
I loved last night when Derek was having them pick every bad Shark player. He's promoting how good all the Sharks players were. I just loved it. That was awesome.
It's like Ron Francis, if you're watching, please do it.
Doubt it.
Oh man.
This comment by Charles here. Someone's going to sign Halak for sure. Like, obviously, probably not going to go back to Boston. If we were to not have Carey Price, just to bring back up the Carey Price segment here of if let's say he does get surgery and he's not available to start the season and you have Jake Allen as your starter, are you willing to sign a guy like Halak to be Jake's backup, or are you sticking to what you have right now in the farm team? Are you trusting a guy like Lindgren or Primo to come up? What do you do?
I think this would be Primo's third year. Like, it's time to see what you got in him a little bit. He's played so well in the American League. He played great when I was there. In his first year, I saw him a ton last summer. I think he's ready for. I don't want to say a backup role and play 30 games. He's not going to take Jake Allen's position, but I think he's ready to be there if Carey's down for a substantial time. A month, 2, where he Jake can carry the load. Because Jake knows when Carey gets back, he's going to carry the load. and just kind of jump in on some back-to-backs and stuff. So I think Primo's ready. I think they have some other holes I would be addressing and
for sure.
Save some money that they can allocate in other places.
No, I completely agree. And I mean, Justin's not wrong here. David Ayres is available.
David. Montreal's got the best ice, so they don't need a Zamboni driver. They're good.
Okay.
He's busy filming a movie too, so he wouldn't even have time for Montreal's ice. So
he is.
He's too busy.
That was good.
Too busy for the Zamboni guys.
Has anybody else been picked? I don't have the stream anymore. It was just dropped. So
me neither. Mine was so late. I saw the comments saying like way in advance. Okay, Gord got picked, and then 5 minutes later, Gord got picked. So I just turned it off. It's a shit stream.
We can. I'll run down some of the reported picks here. From LA, they reportedly took Curtis McDermott.
Yes. I have the full list beside me here if you want to go by alphabetic order or whatever here. But
what's your
LA?
What's your thought on that one?
I mean, to me, it's like a possible AHL kind of guy. I don't know if they're going to keep him in the lineup right away, but
it's an interesting. I think Jeremy Lauzon is obviously not as tough, but he's a big physical, stay-at-home, simple guy. Mm-hmm. That's probably I think he's way better than McDermott. So do you need two guys like that are going to be like your 7-8 D man? I don't know. It's interesting. Interesting. The guy's nails. Don't get me wrong. Like he's tough. Like he can punch right through your face. But
see, the thing is, like they loaded up on defense. Like if the reports are right, they have 12 defensemen. So what I'm wondering is like why there's so many good forwards available from LA. I mean, there was Athanasiou, Blake Lazat. There's a few other guys that I would have taken before him. So that's why, like, I'm confused. Obviously, he's costing nothing, but you have 12 defensemen. Like, you got to load up in forwards.
Yeah. It's interesting. And again, we don't know what deals are happening.
Exactly.
Maybe they have some future deals in place. Who knows?
Carolina just picked Morgan here.
Oh, beautiful. Morgan Geekie.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
He was a third pick in 2017 by Ron Francis. So, I mean, he knows the kid.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Played 36 games last season, RFA in 22.
Mm-hmm.
So
another really young guy. Like they have a ton of young guys.
Oh, the roster pick is so like I guess your two older guys right now would be Jordan Emberley and Mark Giordano.
Right.
31 and 36 years old. 37, sorry. So those are your two veterans, if we want to say.
Yeah, crazy. That's a really young team. I think Morgan Geekie, that's a really good pick. I was interested to see who he'd take from Carolina. Obviously, a ton of connections, a couple guys that he drafted. I know that Jake Bean was getting a lot of love from guys. That wouldn't have been a bad pick either, but obviously with the 12 defensemen they had.
Yeah.
There's your name, Shano. There you go.
Gavin Bayreuther? If I'm not butchering.
No clue who that is, sorry. 27 years old, left-handed defenseman, UFA.
He's a UFA?
Yeah, UFA.
I've never heard of this guy. You pick a UFA and nobody. I've never heard of him. That's wild.
Over Max Domi. He was right there.
Max Domi was getting a lot of love. He was getting a lot of love from a lot of Montreal fans. I think Montreal fans know what he can do.
That's it.
And a lot of people were shitting on him too, and I found that interesting because literally the guy played with one shoulder this year. Think about how hard it is to play hockey with one shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know if that's why they passed on him. He needs surgery in the off season. I guess he's got one more year too. So is that a chance you're willing to take? But I don't know. I still would have taken a chance with Max. Like you said, you've seen what he can do.
It's a flyer for sure. Obviously, if maybe they did their homework on an injury, they think it's longer. I don't think it's going to be that long personally, because I know him. So I think he'll be back fine next year, and I think he's going to have a big year. Again, it was kind of like Duran. Like that's a huge flyer pick. Where, man, if you hit a home run with those guys, like it's a great pick. You look like a hero. And those guys have a really high offensive ceiling. You saw Max, what do you have, 72 points a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Duran's another guy that could put 60, 70 up. They have high ceilings, a lot higher than the guys they picked. So,
Absolutely.
you could have got risky with a couple of them. You obviously had cap space. So, interesting to pick a UFA. And no disrespect to
Oh no, absolutely not.
But I don't even know who he is. Like, do we have a stat line on this guy? Did he even play in the NHL this year?
No, it says says the status is minor, so that means he did not.
I saw on Cap Friendly he's got 9 games in 2021 and 1 goal, an average of 15 minutes of ice time.
Wow, maybe he's just elite and he hasn't got a chance yet, and he's gonna blow up. Maybe he is gonna have a Carlson year for them, come in and score 43.
Carlson got picked from Columbus, right? So maybe Columbus really doesn't know what they're doing.
This could be, man. This could be why Columbus sucks. Maybe, who knows?
Oh yeah.
This could be why. This could be the answer.
Oh, we have New York Islanders officially gave away Jordan Eberle.
Yeah,
I guess that's a guy we all had. I think
I picked him. Yeah, a lot of people had Bailey though. Like the boys yesterday had Bailey.
Too, yeah.
But no, I like Eberle. I mean, he's making 5.5 for until 2025. It's pretty good. I mean, for first. I mean, he's going to be your first line winger. That's for sure. There's no doubt about it. But I like that. Yeah. I like it.
It's an average 20 goal scorer. Solid experience too, right? I mean, like I said, he's 31. He's going to be one of your veteran or leaders on the team. So not a bad pick.
Yeah, I think he's consistent too, right? Like you know what you're going to get from him. Like he's going to come in and score. He should be right around 20 goals. As long as Yanni can get him the puck, and I don't know who else is going to have the left wing, but I think he's going to score. He's going to get a lot of opportunity. I think he could have gone either way. Like Bailey wouldn't have been a bad pick either. I think Bailey was $5 million too. They're right around the same. So I think
Jordan is 5.5 until 23-24 and is a UFA in 24-25.
That's a pretty good pickup. I like that one.
Yeah.
Really like that one.
No, they had a good choice no matter what they picked. Kind of like Tampa Bay, right? So not too worried about that.
With teams like that, like there was no deals this time where I felt like if any guy like that was available for Vegas, they were making a deal. I just really wonder if it was the team saying like, no, we're not doing that again, or I don't know. Interesting. I would love to have known the behind the scenes.
And I was so perplexed when I saw the protection lists. Lou Lamoriello, sorry if I butchered that name, but Lou protected Matt Martin and Cal Clutterbuck over guys like Jordan Eberle, Josh Bailey, Kyle Palmieri, right?
Right.
I'm sorry. I don't get that. Like,
I don't get it either.
It's really confusing.
Yeah. And like, I understand that their fourth line there is great and those guys have been there forever, but I thought that was really interesting. Really, really interesting.
We have the New York Rangers give away Colin Blackwell.
That's good.
Solid pick.
Blackwell.
He broke out this season. He really broke out.
Oh, he did. Had 22 points in 47 games.
Yeah.
This was like his first year, no?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Solid bottom six. He's 28. 28.
28. Okay, yeah. I thought he spent some time in the minors. That's impressive.
He's making $725K this year and is a UFA in 22. Yeah. So, I mean,
he's a UFA. Interesting on that one.
I had him picked as well. I really liked what he did this season. I watched a few Rangers games here and there because I wanted to follow Lafrenière. Lafrenière is actually from where I have like a bunch of family around where he's from. So like some of my family knows him and shit like that. So I really want to follow him. And I watched a few Rangers games and he really stood out. Like even on that game against Washington where they had the line brawl. Yeah, Blackwell was right in it, and he was going ham. So he can do it all. He can do it all.
Nice,
which is perfect. It's a good pickup.
Touch on Lafrenière just quickly. We got a lot of Quebec followers. Like, what happened there?
It took him a while to kickstart because I was watching a few. I'm a huge Rangers fan. Mm-hmm. Rangers are my second team. That's no secret. But I started watching the beginning of the season and I was looking at him play, and it's just like, I don't know, like it just took him a while to kickstart. I don't know if it's going to take him a few years, kind of like a KK where you know his potential, you know what he's capable of doing. So is it going to take him a few years to get into it?
Yeah.
But he's a playmaker. He's a scorer. You can see him from like his replays and stuff. He's going to be great in a few years. So I'm not technically worried, but at the beginning of the season, I was like, holy shit, is this guy going to end up going in the minors for a bit? Could he benefit from it? because it's a big jump.
Mm-hmm. If you look at his progression since he was a kid, like up until I think it was midget, nobody knew him. He was no one, and then all of a sudden, he exploded, right? And then in the juniors, yeah, he was all right, but then at one point, he exploded. He was the best. And then same thing in the junior championship tournament there in Canada. First time he went there, he didn't even play. He played like 2 games and he wasn't good.
Yeah.
And then second time he plays, he's the MVP. So he's a slow burn type guy. Like that's what the Rangers were in for. Like they wanted a guy that could last for a while. They knew, okay, maybe he's not going to be the Calder winner right away, but further down the road, he's going to be insane. And I'm sure next year, watch out. Sophomore year is going to be insane. Oh, yeah.
There won't be any second-year jitters for him.
I almost felt bad for the kid trying to get his first goal there, and like he's on every sports channel, and everyone's like, he hasn't scored yet, you know. And then they start talking about like flops and like it was a tough goal for him, which we haven't really seen a lot of first overall picks in the last little bit not come in and dominate right away. It was really interesting to see. So, you know, you've had guys like, you know, McDavid and Matthews, like just elite guys come in at first of all, and everyone thinks they're going to be those guys. It's like, no, it's not going to happen.
No,
they're like, you know, 2 guys in the league.
Can you imagine if this kid had ended up, just hypothetically here, if this kid had been picked by Montreal, he's from Quebec, and it's taking him this long just to not only score a goal. Like the media pressure just in New York was absolutely bonkers. Imagine in Montreal, like, how can this ruin the development of a kid? Don't tell me that it's not getting to his head.
Yeah,
it would have been insane.
That would have been crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, it's a kid you definitely want on your team in the next few years. I would not say no, and I'm not worried about him at all.
I'm interested to see him and Kako. They got
Kako, yeah.
Kako.
They've got a great team coming along here, and a lot of people have said it too that they might be flipping. Rumor has it that they did flip for Blackwell, so I'm kind of curious because Chris Drury's kind of been a little bit quiet, but you kind of see some inquiries too. And today it was rumored that they were maybe in on Eichel as well. So can you imagine having Eichel as well in New York?
Panarin, oof.
Panarin, Eichel. You've got guys like Kako, Laffy.
Zibanejad is a second center. That's nuts.
Yeah,
that's
Zibanejad. You've got defense like Adam Fox, who's just been insane this year.
Yeah,
they're a team. They're an up and coming team, so they're going to be insane to watch in the next few years.
They could be deadly. They could be deadly.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So who do we got next?
Let's just go down the list here. Let's start with Anaheim, going with the other Fleury brother. So we've got Hayden Fleury.
Yeah. Great pick. I love that. 25 years old, 1.3 million, RFA next year. Love it.
Great pick.
7th overall. Yeah. And I mean, 2 brothers together on the same team. It's pretty cool for them too. You gotta admit, right?
Yeah, that's so cool for them.
We had the only stack of brothers we had was the Kostitsyn brothers, right?
Yeah, that one didn't end well, hey? boys enjoyed themselves.
Not gonna say anything.
They enjoyed themselves a little too much.
They were here for a good time and not a long time.
Oh my God.
Derek is saying that Philly has picked Twarynski, if that's how you say it.
Yeah, Carson Twarynski. That was interesting. Yeah, while he was like in the minors when I was there, but Hackstall being the coach obviously coached all those guys in Philly, and I found that very, very interesting that he didn't take any of those guys. Like really, really liked Gossespierre when he was there. He loved Haig when he was there. That's like again, it's kind of an interesting pick. Like some of the other guys were making a lot of money. Van Riemsdyk, again, he really liked Van Riemsdyk. I understand he's making a ton of money. Guy had a really good year. Like he had a bounce back year. I would have picked him. This guy, I don't even know if this guy plays in the league next year. That's a really interesting pick.
Yeah. But he's only 23, so it's a small gamble. He's an RFA right now, so you can sign him to a really small contract there. Fingers crossed he develops.
Would you have turned around and, like, they're probably doing this move to get a bit of cap spacing here, but would you have turned around and got JVR or Voracek instead? If you got two guys like that are available just to get some veteran and leadership on your team, or just, I don't know. I feel like I would have leaned towards that side, no?
Yeah, those, like, obviously not, I don't think they're on the same level as Tarasenko, but they're good offensive players. When you look at the guys that they have, Voracek and JVR are more offensively gifted than all of them.
Yeah.
If you wanted some score. But it's interesting because Hackstall was there with them. So I don't know if that, to me, is like maybe he's pulling for them and the GM doesn't want him, or maybe he was like, hey, I was there. Don't touch these guys. I don't want to say that happened, but could be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, they currently have cap space of $39 million, right? Well, take on that $7 million contract. Who cares? It's barely going to make a splash. You're still going to have $32 million left. So
yeah,
again, whatever. I'm not picking the team, right? That's on Mr. Ron over there.
I agree with you.
Before we flip to Pittsburgh here, just wanted to get your opinion here, because you talked about playing with Nolan Patrick and seeing him being traded. What's your take on it, Dale? Like, do you think that it's going to be helpful for his career, like a new set of culture? Like, is it going to flip him? Because he's so talented.
Yeah, kind of what I literally just touched on. I don't want to go into too much detail about it here, but like, not a good culture for him to come in as a young guy in Philadelphia. Like, not good for him at all on a lot of things. I don't think Hackstall coaching helped him very much either. So I'm glad he's not going to Seattle. But I think it's great. I talked to him the other day. Like, he's so pumped about it. It was really a struggle for him in Philly. Just a lot of things. So now he can kind of let go. It's a fresh start. He's going to get a huge opportunity in Vegas. When you look at the way their center slot up, like he's gonna probably start on the top line with Pacioretty and Stone.
Yeah, they have no centers.
They have no centers. Chandler Stevenson was their first line center. He was good, but nowhere near the ceiling that Nolan Patrick has. So I'm excited for the kid. I hope he really comes in and just goes off. Like, being one of my close friends and being one of my, like, just a fan. I hope the best for him. It's going to be a good opportunity. He's going to play with some really good players. I think he's going to a better team with a better culture, and he can kind of enjoy playing.
A kickstart for his career is going to be good. Would be good to get him on the show too, if ever he's
available. He's kind of a shy guy that doesn't like to talk to the media a lot, but I think I can convince him. I know I got one guest next week that I really, really want to get on. And I talked to him yesterday, and we're good. He's got
we're
some.
Good. We're good.
Well, I think he said we're good, but there's some issues with one thing he has to shore up. But I think he's going to come on, so I'm really excited about that.
It's killing me not to tell these guys who it is.
Me too.
Holy crap! You guys are going to lose your minds.
I don't want to handcuff him, and then people start blowing up his Twitter.
I'm fangirling.
Sure I know. I was myself too. So.
Oh yeah.
We're just going to tease you guys with that. But to move forward here, we've got Brandon Tan.
Great pick.
Yeah, I figured they would take him. Hey,
fantastic. I had him in my mock draft there. I mean, that's a guy you hate playing against. It reminds me so much of Galley there. He's just such a pest, and he's so hard to play against, and he can still get the puck in the net. Like, he's a good player. So no brainer for me. That's a great pick.
Yeah, I didn't see many other options there with Pittsburgh outside of him. He's got 4 years left, I think. Signed a 6-year deal.
He's up until 25, 26 there at $3.5 million.
Yeah.
29 years old, can play both wings. It's a great deal. Love it.
I think you need that money. He might be a little overpaid, but you need that money. Like, they need some guys making some money.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not even a big cap hit though. Like, they still have $39 million. I can't get over that. Like, I look at that number, it baffles me. Every time I did a mock draft, like I was in the 70 millions. I couldn't get below, and they found a way to. Oh wow!
I think Derek and Brando were over 80 last night. No?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
they were.
And I didn't think they had any outrageous picks. Like, this is just insane to me.
Then we have Washington, who just got
Vanacek.
Just got from Washington. Vanacek, yeah. So that's gonna be a solid backup for them.
Do you guys think he can steal the starting role?
Maybe not this year. Further along, probably, because I mean, he kind of did in Washington. Like when Samsonov went down with COVID and injuries and whatever it was, like he really stepped it up. I picked him up off waivers in fantasy, carried me, and then I traded him for an even better player. So he really helped me in fantasy.
Who did you trade him for? We got to know though.
Oh, let me check. I still have the trades here.
I gotta know who you traded for. It was
a fantastic trade.
I think he's really good. I think
for sure.
No, I think I traded him for Bobrovsky. That was not a good trade. Never mind. I screw that one up. Yeah,
that backfired.
I think he's a good goalie for that. I think maybe he can push for a starting role this year. I don't know. Like Drieger played really, really well for Florida.
Yeah.
But now you have the starter. Like you're the guy. The pressure's on you. I think that changes a lot of things. You've seen a ton of guys that were really, really good backups, and then they get paid to be starters, and they just can't do it. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm interested to see how that one plays out.
I mean, when you take a look at it too, like Florida wise, like they're not up.
Oh, I'm really interested to hear the end of that one.
Are you back? Okay, we got you.
There we go.
Am I back?
Yeah. Continue.
Stupid Rogers. This is my official complaint to Rogers. I freaking hate you.
Yeah. Get in touch with the show, Rogers. Let's go.
Yes. Hook me up with some Bell 5, please. What was I don't even know what I was saying.
Florida?
Yes, Florida. I was saying with Bobrovsky and Spencer Knight, like they're still set.
That's good.
So really I'm not even worried Florida-wise.
Mm-hmm. Florida's a good team. Florida's a scary team.
Yeah.
Who do we got here? John Quenneville.
Yeah.
Is that just
Chicago.
Now? That's a UFA, 25 million. Sorry, 25 years old. UFA.
25 million.
25 million.
There goes your cap.
He'll take that deal.
Yeah. Is he related to Joel?
I think it's I think so. I think there is a relation there. Yeah. He was I believe he was a first round pick of Jersey. I think he started in Jersey, and then he went over to Chicago and just hasn't really got it done lately. And again, a UFA, kind of like the Columbus guy, hasn't played a lot in the NHL. You're a UFA. They must know something that we don't know.
He's got 5 points in 42 games since turning pro in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Just to put in perspective.
Yeah.
So to minimize a cap space pick and flip for something else, is it like an AHL move? Like
I don't know. Who else did Chicago have available? Like I'm trying to think.
Zadorov? No.
Yeah, I had Zadorov going, the big D man there.
Yeah, that would have been a great
crunch some guys, but I mean they picked up Alexiak, McDermott, a bunch of guys, Cale Fleury, so they don't really need another hitter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting.
It's gonna be I don't know. I'm curious to see, again, we keep saying it, like the side deals and the flips, because I don't know, it just looks like it's going into a downward spiral. Like I don't like build back up or something. I don't know. Like where's this going?
Yeah, that's there's got to be some deals for some draft. Like,
you think?
I'm a lot of these picks have just thrown me for a loop, but I guess a lot of people thought Vegas did a bad job too, and they were pretty unreal. So
yeah,
maybe Ron Francis knows what he's doing. Who knows?
We have
Derek is saying on the side here, Coyotes pick is their pick in?
Yeah, Tyler Pitlick, legendary name once again. 1.75 million, 29 years old, right winger, UFA next year. Not who I had, but pretty good pick still.
Who did you have?
From Arizona, let me see who I had. I think I had Christian Fisher. Yeah,
okay.
I had Christian Fisher on the wing there.
That would have been a good pick. I would have liked that pick.
He's not that expensive either, but I mean, Pitlick,
that's a pretty good player too.
Great name.
Yeah.
Great name.
I can't get over it.
Great name.
Great name. Great pick. Yeah, he's a good, solid depth player. He had a good year in Arizona last year, better than he did in Philly the year before. That guy.
Rough draft. Yeah, they have to polish it up. Seriously.
That guy, you have a great handle name. That's incredible.
He's just that guy, you know?
He's
that guy.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it.
If we keep going down the list right now for now, from
oh shit, not again.
Oh, not again. How many teams that we're not we're only missing like 5 teams, no?
Mark Giordano.
Bad boy. Oh yeah.
Giordano. That's a great pick. I think everybody saw that one coming, right?
But they're going to flip him. That's the thing. They're not even going to keep him. He could have been the captain. He could have mentored some of the younger guys, but they're just. You don't think they're going to keep him at all? The rumors are pretty solid that they're going to flip him, but I would personally keep him. I would keep him.
Yeah.
No point in flipping him.
Like when you look at that team, like where's your leadership? Like that's your, like you said, that's their captain. No, that's a pretty easy. Keep him for half a year at least, just to start. See if, I don't know. See if your team is relevant. Who knows?
That's it. The oldest guy aside from Giordano is Eberle. Eberle's 31. That's the second oldest guy on the team, and then you have Gio, who's 37. But like, I think that's you need a guy like that.
Yeah.
He's 6.75 this year, and he's an RFA next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can still play too. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I'd keep him at least for 1 year and then see where it goes, because you're going to need him this year. The way you're going, you're going to need him this year.
Yeah, like, well, your team's junk. You flip him at the deadline, and that's great. You know, like,
yeah.
But at least keep him to start. You never know. You have a Cinderella run like Vegas. I don't see it happening with this team, but
that's it. I mean, him and Adam Larson are basically your quarterbacks there. You got some good D-men other than that, like Alexiak and whatnot. But you know, him and Adam Larson, you got Vince Dunn, Hayden Fleury too. But I think you have to keep Giordano at this point.
Yeah, well, like if you flip him right away and barring no other trades or anything, like who's your top pairing there?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd have to be Larson and Vince Dunn, I guess.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we feel about Donskoy here?
That's a
Donskoy.
Again, legendary name. Jonas. I don't know how to pronounce it. Jonas Donskoy. Fantastic. But 3.9 mil, signed until 2023, 24, 29 years old. He's unreal this season, right?
31 points in 51 games this year.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal. That was my pick. That's a great pick. Love it.
Great pick. I think he's a guy that can move up your lineup and play a little more of an offensive role too. Like, I think he was slotted perfect on the third line in Colorado. Mm-hmm. But I mean, looking at this team, I think he moves up that lineup and he can be pretty effective. Good playoff guy too. He was always really good in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, for sure. Which I guess brings us as well to the dream is alive. Should Landeskog be in Montreal? Should they keep him? What do we do at Landeskog if the price is right?
I love that move. I'm a huge Landeskog fan. I've always been a fan. He can score, he hits, he fights. I think he's great. He can kill penalties. Like, he does everything. And I think he would look really, really good in Montreal. I think he would fit in really nice.
His leadership is nuts too. I mean, he holds the record for youngest captain in NHL history, right? Or is that McDavid? I forget if he broke the record or not, but
I thought it was.
I think it is Landeskog.
Yeah, so
I think you're right. Yeah,
right away. Like, what was he, like 18, 19 when he got the C? Like, that's nuts.
Crazy.
You have to be some special leader to get the C right away, and not just that. He's a talent. So.
Yeah,
man, if he wants to take a nice little contract from us, we'll gladly take him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd be, and obviously, like anybody, for the right price. I know a lot of people are saying, well, he wants too much, but I don't know. You offer him a fucking 8-year deal, like, you can convince a lot of people. If he's only getting a couple 5-6 year offers, like, who knows? Who knows? And what you're offering. Like, I understand he's looking for like $8 million. $8 million might be a tad high. If a guy comes in, he's your number one center, and he puts up a point a game, and hits and fight. Like,
if he's worth it, he's worth it.
yeah, I think so. Like, you look at the numbers, he's pretty consistent. 20 goal man, 25. Like point a game guy.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
And I mean, by the looks of it, doesn't look like we've got Deno coming back, really. Yeah. So could be a solid replacement.
Yeah, I think so, because he, like, and he can play center, he can play wing, he can do a lot of things. So I think that's kind of a nice option too. The Deno thing was interesting. I know, like, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just really, I don't want to say shocked, but like I can't believe it's gone this far. Where I really thought he wanted to stay in Montreal, but I understand wanting to go to free agency and get paid. There's nothing wrong with that. So I understand that, and I'm interested to see what the final number is.
Yeah,
you can make a lot of speculations, but
because I mean, we've talked about it before, where if he's playing big minutes and on the top line in Montreal, is he going to get the same times and numbers on another team? He's going to get like a top 3 max, maybe top 2 max. So who's going to want to pay what he wants right now for a third C? No. Not a lot of teams. So did he miss his shot? Did he miss his shot by trying to get a decent contract in Montreal where we can actually use him right now? My personal guess is yes.
Mm-hmm. If it's gone this far, like, you've never seen it. Like, I can't think of one guy in recent memory where, like, the team let him walk free agency and he's like, okay, listen to all these offers, now I'm going to come back. Like, it's just, you burn the bridge. Like, they've obviously been talking all year long. I'm sure they've gone back and forth 100 times. Even, when the season finished, I'm sure they went back and forth again. It's just, and Phil thinks I'm worth this much, and Burge says not a chance.
Yeah.
And at some point you're just like, well, that's it then. Like, you can't really come back on it.
And then to put fuel on the fire, he puts his house for sale in Montreal.
Yeah, that was really interesting too.
Just a little cherry on top of the cake of I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Is that confirmed?
I don't know,
because I saw the rumor, but I would.
I don't know if it's actually confirmed. No, I haven't seen the little blue check mark on anything, but I mean, like you said, you can't blame him for going around and see if he can get paid. But if he can't, like, your shot might be over in Montreal.
Yeah.
I guess it's a chance you're willing to take. Like, is the grass greener on the other side? Probably not.
Yeah. I was looking at the teams that could afford him and give him the minutes that he'd want. And let's just say he's not going to make the playoffs very often. Okay. The teams are kind of shit. So it's you got to choose between a ring and the money at this point. Like, I don't know. Or you go another team, get some money, but no minutes. It's
tough. Yeah, it's tough. Like, I understand wanting to get paid, but then you really have to look like, are you okay with playing 13, 14 minutes a night as a number 3 center? Because that's what's going to happen to you. You're not going to go.
And he wasn't out forward in Montreal. So why the hell would?
That's what intrigues me. I think you kind of. You're like, wow, I'm going to get paid way more if I go to this team, and you think it's great.
Yeah,
man, that's not worth it. It's not worth it.
No. And he was getting pizza deals in Montreal too. Like, you're getting free pizza. Come on.
Pizza, yeah. Priorities, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Adam Larson from Edmonton.
Larson.
Another UFA
contract already.
Another UFA.
Was it 4 years, 16 million?
It was a hefty one. Yeah. 4 times 4.
Oh, they signed it.
4 times.
I missed that.
Well, I saw that earlier today. I thought that was interesting. If he's your top D man, that's a hell of a deal for a top D man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If he stays healthy, though, he's had health problems. So you gotta hope he's good to go.
Mm-hmm. He's a good shutdown puck moving defenseman. Like, I think he's pretty good.
I mean, they traded Hall for him, so he has to be pretty good, right?
Yeah.
No one's gonna forget that trade.
No one will ever forget that one.
That was something. Yeah. Absolutely something. We also have Carson Surrey in Minnesota. What'd you guys have for Minnesota?
Kaakonen. Kaapo Kaakonen, no doubt. They missed out on that one. To me, that's
agreed.
That's a 1B goalie.
I think everybody had that kind of down. what's the story on this Carson guy? I don't know who this guy is.
Carson Soucy's $2.75 million, signed until 23, 24, 26 years old, left-handed defenseman. Yeah.
What's his numbers look like?
In 50 games, he's got 17 points.
Yeah.
Oh, decent. Really decent.
So, but yeah, I was expecting Kakkonen too.
What teams have we missed? Which ones haven't we heard yet?
We have Nashville, where the projected is, I don't know how to pronounce it.
I
think he signed at a pretty decent cap hit for a while too, no?
Yeah, he's $2 million.
Yep.
How many years?
Until
next year.
Next year, yeah. Then he's a UFA.
How long was that deal? I feel like he signed a long deal for that. Maybe 4 or 5 years? It was interesting when he signed it. I thought he was underpaid. I think he's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had him picked too. I had him picked. He's good. He can play left wing, center, right wing, just like Yanni Gourde there. So use him however you please. It's a nice pick.
Yeah. And then who else do we have here? One, I guess, that's surprised. Actually, no, the boys had it on cans last night from the Devils. Would be Nathan Bastian. So I'm kind of curious to see, because you have a guy like PK Subban who's available. Do you take the chance in paying the man the $9 million that he makes right now, or do you not? Because obviously, it's PK Subban. I mean, it's going to be your market, the face of the market, first of all.
Yeah, I think you could have it could have went both ways. Like, you want a guy that's going to sell jerseys and be really good for your marketing and as a new team, I think it would be great. Or do you take a chance as a guy that's been known as a cancer? I've already, distinguished that one a few times, but it was kind of like, and that was obviously they don't want to touch guys that have huge salaries, so they definitely weren't touching that one.
No, but I didn't have Bastion going. I had Will Butcher. I thought Will Butcher was better defenseman, of one of the better defensemen available. I had him cracking the starting lineup, but Nathan Bastian, 23, he's making peanuts. Like, he's not making anything, and I don't know. He could do some good.
What was his numbers?
That's a great question.
The Butcher, to me, Shane, to back you up there, that would have been my pick. Like, I think he's a great player. Really serviceable defenseman.
To me, I mean, there you go. Apparently, he's going to be great.
TW Stanley, hey, love it. All the best.
If you say so, my friend.
I like it.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Next, we have from San Jose, we have Alexander True. So I'm curious to see what Derek feels about this.
Please post in the chat. Give us a prospect breakdown.
Yeah.
No, he's an RFA. He's 24. He's defensive-minded, bottom six forward. He's got 5 points in 19 games.
I wonder if Derek wanted to lose him. I didn't hear a lot of talk yesterday about him.
Probably. It's Derek. He wants to lose everybody right now.
Derek's got no idea.
That's another really good name, though. Alex True. Legendary. They're building a name team there. You got Mason Appleton coming too. Tyler Pitlick, Kylie Yarncroc. Like, come on. Wow. Those are some good names.
Great for jersey sales, man. Just incredible. Just absolutely incredible.
People in Seattle are like, what the hell is this? Who is this guy? Why am I buying this jersey?
Oh, man. How do you guys like their jerseys, by the way?
Nice.
Love it.
Nice. This color scheme is sick.
They're unreal, hey? I like them too.
From a design perspective,
yeah.
I told Drew today I have a design boner since the beginning of this launch. It's amazing. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to get myself a jersey. I was hoping for a Domi jersey, but I guess maybe I'll have to settle for Pitlick or something. I don't know.
Oh, great.
Amazing.
Oh, unreal. That's so good. Yeah,
we have from the Canucks, Cole Lind.
There's another one that really flew under the radar for me.
Cole Lind is an RFA. He's a prospect, so I mean,
22.
Second round pick. He's got 7 goals, but AHL guy for me. Like in my book.
Born in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. He must be a player. Must be a player. What a city. Shout out to Swift Current. Love that place.
Tons of boys from Swift Current.
He ripped up his last year at junior at 95 points in 58 games. Played 7 games in the NHL this year, and then he had a point a game in the American League.
It's kind of like an under the cover.
Must be a dead.
Yeah.
It was a second round pick in 2017, so still really young. They have a lot of young guys, hey?
Insane. I don't know what they're...
Interesting if they're looking to flip any of these guys, hey?
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or are they just keeping all these young guys? It's going to be very interesting, right?
I don't know. And the last one we have on the list would be Mason Appleton of Winnipeg, which is...
I thought they were going to take DeMello.
Yeah, me too.
Winnipeg.
I had DeMello.
Yeah. It's still a decent pickup.
Still a good pickup,
25 points in 56 games this year.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say his minutes were that high. I don't think he played
14 average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good third line guy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really good year.
That going to hurt Winnipeg this year, you think?
Winnipeg's my second favorite team, but I think Winnipeg's in trouble. I think they got great goaltending, and you have a couple of elite scorers up front, but I think they're in trouble. I think their defense, obviously, as you saw when DeMello went down, you saw how important he was to the team.
Mm-hmm.
Against Montreal in the playoffs, they struggled big time. So I think this is a guy too that could have moved up to the lineup and really contributed too. And when I look at their prospects in the American League, they had that Vesalainen who came up a little bit and didn't. I don't want to say he didn't impress me, but didn't do a lot. Perfetti looks like he's going to be a stud too.
Ooh,
give that guy a couple years.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be a really good scorer.
Can't wait to see. I loved him when he played for Team Canada. Love the way he played. So
yeah, Ville Heinola too is looking good. That's a scary looking D man. But Sami Niku is a head scratcher. I don't know what's going on with that kid. What a lettuce though. The hair on that guy. Fantastic.
Yeah, his hair's incredible. The Jets there's some good in the system. So I don't know. We'll see how they develop. But the Sami Niku thing, he had that first year in the American League, ripped it up, and came up and didn't really do a lot at the NHL level. And I've skated with him a few times, and maybe it was, maybe he just traveled from Finland and he was just in Winnipeg training. He was jet lagged or something. But not the best work ethic I've ever seen in my life. So that might be a problem.
Oh,
yeah. But basically, if we've gone through all the lists, it leaves it leaves them 12 players to sign. They've got a projected 41 million cap hit, 15 forwards, 12 defense, and 3 goalies. So it's a team that's going to need a lot of work to even be competitive next season, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad.
It's going to be interesting. It's obviously not what everybody thought. There's got to be some bigger plan at play here. So we will we'll have to touch on that whenever we see some of these deals or what happens. So interesting. I just want to say for everyone that's watching, we really appreciate everybody. We love the fans. Be sure to subscribe to our show. We got lots of great content, as I said, coming up. I got a ton of interviews coming up with current players. We got a really big guest next week. We're just waiting on one thing to be confirmed, and that one's going to be unreal. So I'm really, really excited. So
it's going to be a great show. I'm so pumped for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then
let's hope it works.
Yeah, he's just got to get something done. But
nuts.
I think he's going to be on. And also a little shout out to our merch there. It's obviously on the bottom here. habstonight.net. Everybody's got their merch on. We got some hats. We got shirts. Nick does an incredible job designing stuff. So be sure to check that out, guys. And then, hey, once you guys get it too, be sure to take pictures and send it to us. We love seeing you guys in it.
I was going to say, make sure to tag us because we love sharing it and post it as reviews as well on our site. So it's going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, before we wrap up, Dixie and I are going to be starting a new show called Flashback Friday. So that's going to happen next week. It's going to be basically picking some moments throughout history, either just full on NHL, full on Montreal. Send us your suggestions if you have any of your favorite moments that you've witnessed, and we're going to go through them for a good 10-15 minutes and just start a new show just for fun. It's going to be great. And on Saturday, I'm probably cutting out right now, am I?
Nope,
you're good.
Oh, wow, that's great. On Saturday, we're probably going to do a quick recap.
Oh shit, there it goes.
Shoot.
So close.
Almost nailed it.
So I bet she was going to say the draft, because the draft is Friday. So bingo. Carrying forward, but keep going. And Nick, you're back.
Thank you.
Back.
Yeah, I would love to get sponsored by Bell or something if it's possible. If anybody would like to hook us up with, I don't know, cool internet.
We need some better Wi-Fi, guys. Let's go.
On Saturday, we're going to do a draft recap show, Dixie and I. So stay tuned for that. And I guess if a big trade happens or something, we might just hop on if anybody's available to
for sure
talk about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be fun. And then next week we have free agency starting the 28th.
Yeah.
Big deals coming. Big deals.
Autour de la Ligue, Crushing Cans. Just a bunch of different shows coming on, you guys. So stay tuned.
Absolutely. Again, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Shane and Nick, this was awesome, guys. Thank you.
No, thank you for hopping on. Sure the fans appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Subscribe, like, share, and we'll see you guys on Friday.
Later.
Take care.
Cheers, guys.